Okay, so we have Sreevarsha with us. And Sreevarsha, if you can introduce yourself, please.
Hello, Ritu. This is Sreevarsha R. I'm a certified nutritionist. So I'm into health and wellness, and I'm a mother of a 5-year-old and a single parent. And very lovely. I have a sister and a mother, and very happily living my life with my terms and conditions. And I'm a very versatile person, in generally very versatile, and I want to do best for my clients, and I love to be happy all the time.
Awesome. That's super. You love to be happy all the time, and so do I, and so do all of us. That's amazing, Sreevarsha. So tell me, what is your question for me today?
My actual question is, I've been attending few of your webinars, few of your sessions, and I've been part of your My Deserve community, where I understand who I am today. So one basic question is, like you already told, to live in the present tense and meditate and things like that are few of your formulas, which I'm not able to do it because after meditation I sleep off. One, and I cannot be in the present tense for a longer time.
Okay.
So can you help me with how can I live my present tense as per my best of my ability?
So, to be very honest, Sreevarsha, even I cannot be in my present for a very long time. It's humanly not possible to be all the time in the present moment, and we can try to be. I'm not saying that there are sages and gurus and all these people who have been living this way. But if you sleep after, see, it's just moment to moment. How much are you aware of your own being? So it's not something, just you don't have to feel bad or think that if you sleep after your meditation. In fact, most of the people do sleep, and because they feel so light after meditating. So it's not about meditations only. It's about observing. It's living in the now means observing at every point of time, being an observer and not an experiencer. That means I am observing, okay, Sreevarsha is sleeping right now. So Sreevarsha is observing Sreevarsha that she's sleeping right now. And that's absolutely okay. Right? So we don't have to be very harsh on ourselves, number one. Like you said that, that I'm not being able to do things and live in the present moment. So the fact that you're acknowledging this also, that means you're trying a lot to be in the present moment, right? And something, it's like if I ask you to sleep, okay, if you keep on telling yourself, imagine karo, if you're telling yourself, I want to go to sleep, I want to go to sleep, I want to go to sleep, why am I not sleeping? I'll do my meditation, I want to go to sleep. So what is going to happen? You'll not get sleep because you have this anxiety and this tension inside your mind that I want to do this, I want to go to sleep. But probably once you stop thinking about it, and you're like, okay, you've had a good day, and I'm like, Joga, if I don't get sleep, it's okay. If I get sleep, it's okay. And you're not really thinking about it. The chances are that you're going to fall asleep sooner, right? So you have to understand this thing. It's not about wanting to be a different way. Being in the present moment is just being, not really wanting things to change otherwise. So if you are sleeping, you're sleeping after meditating. If you are suppose it's something you're working, okay, Shivarsha is working right now, so you are thinking about what you're doing right now and just doing it to your perfect ability, doing it to your as much I would say doing it the best you can at that given point of time, rather than thinking about the future or thinking about the past or thinking about social media distractions, which all of us have right now too much, right? We're too much concerned about other people, what other people are doing in their lives, and what is their story and what is their picture, and let me see what's happening around me and all that stuff. So that those things, yes, you can stop doing those things when you're working, or since you are already working and you're a beautiful mom. So when you're playing with your kid, okay, maybe half an hour, 40 minutes when I'm playing, I'll keep my social media away for the time being. And I'm not going to think about anything, but just be with him totally 100%. And if you're at your work, maybe, when we try to work too hard over a long period of time, distractions are bound to come. But what I do is I take a 90 minutes or a 2 hours probably cycle. I maintain a 2 hour cycle. So 2 hours when I'm working, I'm full whole and soul, I'm there, fully present. I'm involved in my work. I keep my phone away if required. Even if and there is nothing called an emergency will happen. The emergency can wait for 2 hours. And if it is that urgent, I will be getting the information from somewhere or the other. Right? From कुछ ना कुछ करके वो information मिल ही जाएगी मेरे को. So, we just waste time on our distractions and other things thinking that, अरे ये कुछ important हो जाएगा तो कुछ नहीं होगा. So what I do is 2 hours if I'm working, after that I check my phone. After that I do all these things. I mean, whatever is necessary for me, I get distracted. जो सोचना उस समय सोचो, जो करना करो. Then again focus back. And what you're doing. So it's not 100% being in the present moment for me. Even for me, I would say it's not yet happened yet, but I try my best. What I also do is like what I'm telling you all also is breath meditation, which I find it very effective. So practice, I would say for you, Sreevarsha, you can just start with 5 minutes, increase up to 10, then increase up to 15. And that also you need not be very harsh with yourself. If thoughts are coming in, all you need to do is probably just watch your thoughts at that point of time, but you're watching it. You're in your present moment because Sreevarsha is now noticing what is happening within her. What kind of thoughts is she thinking? Is she going too much in the past? Is she thinking too much about the future? But actually, you're in the present moment because you're seeing yourself also. Like, you're a third person who's seeing yourself working in different scenarios. And that comes, my dear, only with practice. Only with practice. So today, maybe you can set, okay, today for 1 hour, I'm going to practice this. Tomorrow, maybe 2 hours. Then, everything is consistency. Every habit that you've created for yourself it's out of some, maybe you've done it too much in your life. And that is why you formed a habit, right? And this is also a very simple habit to live in the present moment. If you can try doing it by just starting small, but being consistent about it, you'll want to do it. Yes.
But let me ask you one thing. See, when I am very spontaneous as a person. See, now I make videos and things like that. So I don't plan too much. I write some few notes whenever I'm going through. I write few notes and keep it. And when the cameraman is ready with the video, I just scroll back and whatever comes, I just read it and I just make off my videos. Done.
Okay.
Because I've been practicing from a year long. So now I'm very confident. Making 1, 2, I'm very confident. I just do it out of nowhere. Things come and that flow happens. And I'm very spontaneous as a person. When you're in the crowd or कोई मेरे को mic पकड़ा दिया और बात करने के लिए बोल दिया, I would talk anything that comes in my way.
That's lovely. Huh.
So you're understanding. I am almost that very spontaneous as a person.
But what is your question here?
My question is, where at that point of time you miss the clarity, you don't know what to speak. You're understanding what my point is. You're not able to attract the crowd, or you're not able to, you're just randomly speaking something out of nowhere. No point, nothing.
So you said that it's like if you have a purpose, like everything should have a purpose, right? So being spontaneous is good. It's not bad. You can get spontaneous, but when it comes to your video making with Sreevarsha, when you're doing something like today, if I sit here without any agenda, imagine. So I'm speaking spontaneous, but your question is in front and I'm speaking based on your question, right? So I know what do you want. So similarly, like if you are making any video and if your audience, you should know what the audience wants. You cannot make a video based on, like speaking randomly, which is making no sense. So that is not good. So how is this question related to being in the now? I'm a little confused over here.
See, now it is like my workshop is going on. That's a now for me, right?
Yeah.
That is my present tense. When I'm pitching that to somebody, how will I make that very effective? Because that is also my present tense, right? See, somebody just gave me a mic. You're understanding. For them, I can be spontaneous. But for me, I should live the present moment. No, I will talk my past. I will talk my future. I will talk everything on the planet Earth. Makes no sense.
No. Living in it's a different two topics altogether, what you're talking about, Sreevarsha. It's like when you're making a sales presentation, you're being in the now, but you have to, if you have prepared, when you're doing your preparation, that time you've been in the present moment, that time you're preparing, giving your 100% there, and you know what all are you going to talk, you've rehearsed that. So being in the now does not mean that you just speak now and you just you just speak in. If you're speaking being in the, like I'm speaking in the now, I'm not prepared for what your questions are going to be for me right now, but it needs to be relevant. If it's not relevant to you, people will not understand, right? So you need to be show some relevance there. But at the same time, if you've well read, if you've understood your subject very well, then obviously it will make sense to the people in front, right? So it's not something like, and if you really want to have an impact on the people, and if you want to share your past, that time you're sharing your past is being in the present moment. It's not like when you're living your past, then it becomes bad, right? But if you're sharing your past, that doesn't mean that you can't do that. Of course, you can inspire thousands and thousands of people by sharing about who you were and who you are now in your life, right? So that is something totally different. You are a spontaneous person, and being spontaneous is excellent. It's a very unique quality to be very, very spontaneous. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that you just say anything and everything. You have to be well read. You have to when you're not mugging, but at the same time you're just speaking from your heart and soul totally. Okay, so when you're talking, so that is what you should do when it comes to your presentations and stuff. And regarding being in the now, I can just tell you one thing, that uh, observe. The best part is, for a few days, think about what Sreevarsha is thinking all the time. Even if she's thinking about the past, or if she's thinking about the future. So as a, I am getting, live in that awareness mode. Awareness is the key to success. Number one, the 4 A's, which I always talk about in all my programs, is, now for the first A is awareness. Then comes your acceptance, then comes your action, and then comes your adherence, right? But awareness is number one. And unless and until we know, if I don't know who am I as a person, if I don't know how much do I think about the past, if I don't know how much I'm thinking about the future, I cannot change anything. What am I pretending not to know? So we have to understand all these questions, right? So once I'm aware that yes, Sreevarsha has this habit, then it can be changed, right? If I have a habit, if I know that Sreevarsha has a habit, if I know that Ritu has a habit that she gets distracted too often by the mobile, or if Ritu has a habit that, sometimes she overthinks about her future. So I'm observing Ritu like, yes, she's thinking too much about what's going to happen next. So what can I'm seeing this pattern again and again and again. So what do I do next? Next is, whenever that pattern comes, now I know that, okay, she's into the pattern. If I have to break my habit, then I have to first observe that and then say, change. Ritu, stop thinking, right? Come back, come back. So this comes with practice. This comes with, like I always emphasize on meditation, but you can be you don't have to really sit down, close your eyes. And that I say because we are very new to this. And there are many people who are in the meditative state throughout the day without sitting down, closing their eyes and closing their hands down, right? Because they know what they're doing at every point of time. So the best state which you can be in is when you're meditating throughout the day with your eyes open. That is, you're consciously aware of yourself at every point of time. What am I speaking? What am I how am I behaving? What am I doing? What am I not doing? How is my environment like? Am I doing everything correct? Am I not doing it? What is Ritu thinking? What is Ritu not thinking at this point of time? So this comes with practice, my dear. This cannot come like, okay, one day I want to become aware. I want to live in the present moment for all. No, it doesn't happen. It's a slow and a steady progress. And I would urge you to start practicing it slowly. Practice, first step, practice becoming aware of what you are thinking, what you are talking, what you are saying. If it makes sense, if it is bringing you joy, do more of that. If it is not bringing you joy, change immediately.
Can I have this podcasting informations and something like that to be in the present and control the moment? Is that practically possible?
I didn't understand this question in the
Like
sense.
in the YouTube, you will have something related to my health coaches things or something like that. To just be in the present or just to deviate the thought,
Hmm.
just to know what it is not happening forcibly, can I be continuously in those things and then
No,
deviate like
that's,
that?
I don't say continuously you can be in those things. It doesn't, it will not work for you, because after all, you have to give time to your child, and you have to give time to for your work and everything. So if you're all the time on listening to a podcast or podcasting or, making a video, so that's not the ultimate aim. To be in the present moment is a, it's like, that's called self-sabotaging, I would say. You're just trying to come uh, to
Huh.
surface from, ऊपर से बस एक तो कवर लगा दिया ताकि अंदर से पता ही नहीं चले, कि क्या है, कौन हूं मैं. So that's not the right way. Connect to who you are, connect to your deeper soul. That will only happen with awareness. It can be difficult initially. Every change, obviously, you have now trained your brain, you have trained each and every chemicals of your body now is addicted to some kind of an emotion. So now it's not going to be very easy to come out of that. That is why people normally go back to where they were. They try, they do something and they continue, but after that there's like a withdrawal, some symptoms, I would say, from the uh, chemicals of the body. They start reacting, you come back to who you were. And and then you go back. But then if you identify that, yes, this is happening with me, and if you stay firm, and if you like, no, come what may, I am going to change my personality, I'm going to change the way I think totally and completely. So for that, initially for a few days it will be difficult, it will be challenging, because your body will be like, okay, now, when there's a sweet craving, it's like, क्या होता है हमारे हमारे पास, हम मतलब बहुत कोशिश करते हैं, नहीं खाएंगे नहीं खाएंगे. One then like, छोड़, बस एक तो एक मीठा दे दे मेरे को, एक मैं कुछ खा ही लेती हूँ, एक पेस्ट्री, and then you get so much of satisfaction out of that. So it's the same thing which is happening otherwise also, with some any bad habit or any particular habit. So it's not like if you say that, okay, I'm going on watching YouTube or I'm podcast and all, whatever for that matter is, you can do for some time, but that's not good. That's not the solution. The solution is not
This-
intellectual. The solution is has to come from within. It has to come from your experience.
but
Yes.
that is what, as because I told you, been spending little time with you, I understand. And it is always like, after a point of time continuously trying to do, it's like really put something, I feel like something is pulling me backward to who I was, and it's
Yes.
really
And
pulling
that's
me.
very normal, my dear. That's very normal, my dear. But still, I urge you to keep practicing, because one day the other self of yours will become the normal. Okay. And then you'll not want to leave that. So, joy, happiness, bliss, all these are a state of mind which you can practice, which without any reason, you can just sit down and feel that joy. And the more you feel it, the more you'll be able to, get accustomed to it. And slowly and gradually, that will become your new hormones are going to be produced in your body, and new self will emerge. Right. But right now we are addicted to pain, we are addicted to sufferings, we are addicted to all kinds of mess in our life. And that's our identity, that has become our identity. And if we lose, एक बार identity छोड़ने में थोड़ा problem तो होता ही है ना. Right. So this is what it is. Don't worry, you are already on the right path. And if you continue doing it, Srivarsha, it will help you. But I would urge you not to leave it in the middle. And if you have cravings at that point of time, if you have these urges at that point of time, it is time to connect with your coach, or to connect with your buddy partners, or to take some action. At that point of time, I would say, when you're feeling that urge, you can listen to a YouTube or a podcast, or maybe just do something different, or maybe go out for a walk, or maybe just some kind of urge is coming to you to be go back to your same self. And at that point of time, you can just what are the things which you can have a list ready, that these are the things which I can do to avoid that urge. Maybe I can just go for a walk or take my son out to play, or anything for that matter, listen to a YouTube or whatever, the things which I can dance, I can sing, I can do whatever, watch some TV, watch some comedy. That is the time when you should distract your mind rather than going back to your old self. Okay.
That's what now currently I talk to the buddy partner that you have connected to me the last time at Illinois. I just talk to Illinois and it gets me all charged and all. It makes me
Yes.
feel good.
So amazing.
Sometimes
That's
I
super.
do.
Yeah.
And I go to the gym, even though nobody is there in the gym. I just go and I just say little exercises, and it makes me turn on to my mood. But I'm just trying to ask you, as is this the right process that I am
Yes,
going
this is the
through?
right process. If any
Because
kind of urge coming, you have to, that moment, you need to distract yourself and do something else. And
I'm really feeling that, I'm controlling my current movement to something else. I'm just feeling that, I'm controlling too much of my emotions. From there, I'm pulling myself, putting here, pulling
see,
myself,
it's not
putting
like,
there.
again, that is what you're saying is right, and this is the one of the ways, but at the same time, never tell your mind, I don't want to do, I don't want to go back, I don't want to do that, because then your urge is only increasing and increasing and increasing. So rather than what you don't want, I would urge you to ask yourself, what do you want? What do you want, Sreevarsha? What do you want? Do you want that happiness? Do you want that joy? Do you want to be in the moment? Do you want to live in the present moment? Rather than, I don't want to live in my past, I don't want to live in my future, I don't want to do this. What is it that you want? हम लोग human beings का most of the time, I would say 90% of the time, we are focusing on what we don't want in our lives, right? And that is something which should not be there. Focus on what you want in your life, and you'll see the entire game changing for yourself. Okay? So this is what it is. And thank you, my dear, for empowering everybody else with your enlightening questions. I would say, I'm sure a lot of people are going to benefit from this. And thank you once again for making me a channel through which love and peace can spread everywhere. Thank you so much for joining me today. Okay? Chalo.
As always.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. Bye bye, and I'll see you soon.